Hi, Scotty Sanders here. Have you ever worked for a micromanager? I have once. Well, how do you spot a micromanager? That's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. In my professional career, fortunately, I've only worked with one micromanager. And trust me, once was all I needed to do. Have you ever heard the saying, you couldn't pay me $1 million to do that again? Well, you really couldn't pay me $1 million, if not more than that, to ever work with a micromanager again, for sure. See, a micromanager wants to really control all aspects of a person's work. They may have good intentions, I don't want to question that, but they really tend to be prideful, and that's kind of the deep-rooted thing they're dealing with. But they have, they may even have a personality disorder, but they tend to hide pride very well. So how do you spot a micromanager? So again, I try my best to avoid recommending anybody to work for a micromanager. I would never work with a micromanager again. So here's some things I've kind of identified that you can spot a micromanager. So the first one, they tell employees exactly how to do things, which allows no creativity, originality, or initiative. They basically want that person to be a robot. Do it the way I say, because I'm perfect and you're not. That's kind of their attitude. They don't say it that way, but that's in some ways what they're communicating by how they handle that. Second, they resist delegating work. Why do they resist delegating work? Because no one can do it as good as them, and they tend to be a bottleneck for the organization. A third one is they demand detailed weekly reports from their employees because they want to control that person. They want everything to go through them. And then from that, I know my own experience was I'd spend 3 or 4 hours doing a detailed report. I was already working 60, 70 hours a week. Now I'm spending 3, 4, 5 hours a week doing a report. I had tons of meetings, meeting with staff, meeting with individuals, and then I'd have to have them, present that report, have a meeting about the report, and then do a follow-up of questions that he had about the report. It was a total waste of time and very, very demotivating. Here's another one. They are rarely satisfied with the employee's performance. You might have come there and they may have been at a C level and you take it to an A minus, and they're going to micromanage the A minus to get it to an A plus, because they're never satisfied, and you can never satisfy a micromanager. Here's a fifth one. They have an unusually high turnover of employees. That's a giveaway, that's a red flag. If they're turning employees over all the time, then that's something you need to pay attention to. They're probably a micromanager, because two things happen there. One, there's a high turnover because no one will ever satisfy them. Number two, no one like me would stay long working for a micromanager. So again, those are 5 things that you can look at. Again, I believe the root issue with a micromanager, it may be pride. They tend to hide it well so it doesn't jump out. In fact, I know the micromanager I work with, he came across very humble. But later that he admitted when I caught him on it that he was a prideful person. He said, you're right. So before you take that next job, that new job, do your homework. So to get more helpful leadership insights, you can go to scottysanders.com, but also make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Listen, till next time, live well and lead well.